A video of Ukrainian Leopard 2A6 engaging Russian tanks was recently published, and in this video we can see a Leopard 2A6 fire a shell on a Russian tank, where the tank then gets out of the smoke of dust and retreats, together with another tank. Now, a lot of questions have risen out of this, and I will try to answer some of them. First, what tanks is the Leopard 2 engaging? And is it even a 2A6? Well, we can tell it's a Leopard 2A6 model by the rear of the turret partially covering the radiator fans of the engine deck. On Leopard 2A4, from this perspective, the fans would be completely exposed. Now, the Russian tanks have been reported as T-80s, and I will say it is extremely hard to tell anything in this quality, but there is something that makes me believe they are actually T-72s. Just before the end of the video, we can see smoke coming up to the side of the retreating tank, which really looks like the smoke out of the exhaust, a side exhaust, which is only typical for the tanks of the T-72 and T-90 series. T-64 and T-80 had their exhausts on the rear. Now, why didn't the tank get destroyed? Well, considering that there was a big explosion when the tank was hit, it is very likely that the tank was hit with a high explosive shell. We have seen evidence of 120mm high explosive shells on Ukrainian Leopard 2A6 tanks, either the programmable or the non-programmable variant, which could mean that this shell was used to engage the Russian tank. But since it's a high explosive shell, there is no doubt that there is some damage to the tank, since HE shells are very effective at damaging external modules on tanks. Now, after getting hit, the tank crew decided to retreat, which is definitely a right thing to do in this situation, and they are really lucky that the tank retained mobility. Now, why did the Leopard 2A6 crew decide to use a high explosive shell and not a Sabo? Well, that is probably what they had loaded in the gun when they spotted the tank. It is better to engage the enemy as soon as possible with what you have loaded than to eject a loaded round and load a new one in. It takes away a lot of time. Now, there is also something that needs to be brought up. There is always a chance that this video has been doctored and that the Russian tank was hit by something else. I say this because the video cuts after zooming out of the Leopard, so it is possible that they just compiled two different events together. Now, the weather does seem to be the same, or very similar, and the surroundings do appear to be similar as well, green grass full of craters. But it's sad to say this, a lot of Ukraine looks like that right now, unfortunately. So while it does indicate that it could be the same event, it can also not mean very much. But if the event did take place, then this was a victory for the Leopard 2A6. A lot of people will say how the tank wasn't destroyed, so no one won. Well, I disagree. If a tank is damaged and has to retreat, that means it lost, plain and simple. That would be all. If you like my content, you can consider supporting me on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a nice day.